Good morning, everyone. This is Father Nate, missionary priest in Italy, and thanks for joining us today, February 27th, on No Greater Delight, our podcast on Marian feasts and Marian meditations. So today we have a special celebration. We recall Our Lady of Lights. I'm told that it's near Lisbon, Portugal, and Palermo, Italy, in the 18th century, but also we have, it says here, in Mexico, in the Cathedral of León, formerly known as the Jesuit Church. So, what is this devotion, Our Lady of Lights? Well, we're told that in the early 18th century, a Jesuit, Father John Genovesi, lived in Palermo, Italy. Right? Now, from the beginning of his career as a missionary, he placed the souls over which he would have charge under the protection of the Blessed Mother. Right? Deciding to take with him to each of his missions an image of Our Lady. Now, as a very pious man, he said he didn't know which image of Our Lady to use, so he consulted a pious visionary and said, okay, ask Mary which image she wants. So one day, as this lady knelt in prayer, she beheld approaching her the Queen of Heaven, surrounded by pomp, majesty, glory, surpassing anything else she had ever beheld in any of her visions. A torrent of light was shed from the body of the Virgin that was so clear that in comparison to it, even the sun seemed dark. Yet, as the visionary recalled, these rays were not painful to sight, but rather seemed directed to the heart, where they instantly penetrated and filled with sweetness. So in this vision, a group of seraphim, hovering in the air, were suspended over their empress and held a triple crown. Her body was clothed in a flowing robe, whiter than the snow and brighter than the sun. A belt inlaid with precious stones encircled Mary's beautiful form, and from her graceful shoulders hung a mantle of azure hue. Right? There were countless angels that surrounded them. She radiated clemency and love. Upon her left arm, she carried her infant son, whose divine features glowed with affability and love. Our Lady told this pious woman that she wished to be represented, as she was now, under the title of Most Holy Mother of Light. Repeating those words 3 times, Most Holy Mother of Light. Right? The Jesuit hired laborers to begin the work of making the picture, right? But neither the pious lady nor the priest were able to direct it, right? And so unfortunately, after it was completed, it didn't answer Our Lady's orders, like it didn't correspond with it, right? So Our Lady directed the woman to look at the image, and seeing the mistake, she again betook herself to prayer and asked Mary to help, right? And then at this time, Mary provided guidance, right? And so, pleased by the finished work, Mary appeared over it and blessed it with the sign of the cross. So we are told now that this wonderful treasure is now in the city of Mexico in the Cathedral of León. I think it means maybe in the country of Mexico, which was formerly known as the Jesuit Church. The back of the image bears the authenticity and 4 signatures, including that of Father Genovesi, the one who had it commissioned, right? The painting was transferred from Palermo, Sicily in 1702 and placed on the altar in León in 1732, right? So when it says early 18th century, it means really it must have been very early in the 18th century. The people of León have an innate devotion and tenderness towards the Mother of God. In 1849, they promised before the picture to make Our Lady of Light the patroness of León, and this promise was confirmed by Pope Pius IX, and Pope Leo XIII crowned the image of light in 1902. So that is the story of Our Lady of Lights that we celebrate today, February 27th. So for today's Marian meditation, taken from the book by Father Ildefonso Villar, we will continue with meditation 42, entitled The First Adorers. Yesterday we considered the shepherds and the joy of Our Lady at presenting the child Jesus to the shepherds, and today we'll consider the Magi and their arrival in Bethlehem. A special divine revelation drives them to Bethlehem. A star has appeared in the sky, and an inspiration has arisen in their hearts. The Magi, docile to this call, start on their journey. See their docility and the readiness of their obedience. They leave everything at once, country, home, family, comfort, in order to embark upon a long and extremely hard journey. Humanly speaking, this is sheer madness. You must be convinced that to the world and to the prudence of the flesh, the things of God look fantastically mad. However, you must love and seek this divine madness. Remember the moment when the star disappeared, a terrible moment of doubt and of hesitation. Had they perhaps made a mistake? Would it not be better to retrace their steps? Think how different would have been the story of the Magi if they had yielded. What an immense pity it would have been to be on the threshold of success, almost at the end of their journey, and then go back to losing it all at the last moment. This is the perfect image of the inconstant. Do not forget that it is only the one who perseveres that secures victory. Do not forget that perseverance is the touchstone of love. And now we consider the fourth point, which is today's second point, the arrival in Bethlehem. See the Magi now in Bethlehem. The victory has been complete. The star is shining again, leading them up to the very dwelling of the child Jesus. But there is another difficulty. Should not they, people of noble birth, find it below their dignity to enter such a poor place and address a small child surrounded by such poverty? Here lies the merit of faith. Faith is not deceived by appearances, but goes deep to the root and sees what the eye cannot distinguish. The Magi see God despite the poverty of the stable, and falling on their knees, they adore him. See them offering their gifts. Meditate on the significance. Here, everything suggests sacrifice. The gold represents sacrifice through love. Incense symbolizes sacrifice through prayer. Myrrh signifies sacrifice through mortifications and penance. We can find Jesus only through sacrifice. Sacrifice is a gift most pleasing to him. For today's reading from the Admirable Heart of Mary by St. John Eudes, we're going to read the conclusion of chapter 4, talking about the zeal of God mirrored in Mary's admirable heart. Our Lady can well say with the prophet David and several other saints, but more perfectly and truly than any of them, "My zeal hath made me pine away, because my enemies forgot thy words. My eyes have sent forth springs of water, because they have not kept thy law." It's from Psalm 118, 139, and 136. "The zeal of your house has eaten me up." That's Psalm 68, verse 10. That is, zeal for the salvation of souls, created by God for his eternal indwelling. So it is that the Mother of Fair Love accomplished more for the salvation of souls and the glory of God by sacrificing her beloved Son to his heavenly Father when she stood at the foot of the cross. She accomplished more than what was done or could have been done by all the saints together, even if each one had suffered all the torments of hell for that end. We can now judge of our obligation to honor the maternal heart of our Mother, most admirable, so filled with affection and zeal for our interests. But do we not say that we have a true devotion to this heavenly Virgin if our hearts do not share the holy inclination of her heart? If we do not love what she loves and hate what she hates? Our Lady's love is the greatest of all things that contribute to the honor of God and the salvation of souls, and her hatred deepest for everything opposed to God. Let us enter into these sentiments and employ our mind, heart, thoughts, affections, words, actions to glorify the divine majesty in every way, and to procure the salvation of souls, above all our own. Consider that salvation as the greatest and only business of God, of the God-man, of the Mother of God, of all the angels, of all the saints, and of the entire Church.
Hello, and we hope that you enjoyed listening to our Marian podcast. In the spirit of Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, we say to you that there is no greater delight than to spread the devotion of Our Lady. We hope you share these sentiments and encourage you greatly to share with a loved one. Know that you are always in our prayers, and we ask that you keep us in yours. God bless.